So there was a really scary moment in the stock market today for most investors. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about one sector of the market that had a really bad day. We're going to talk about some of the stocks that had a good day. We're going to talk about some Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve. We're going to talk about a crash. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe. Okay. What was the scary moment in the stock market today? So let me take you back to Friday. Everyone, do you guys remember what happened on Friday? You guys remember that's all the giant tech stocks, Apple, Google, the FANG stocks, which are Facebook, Apple, I include Amazon in that, Netflix, Google, all those giant tech stocks. So they all dropped like 2, and a bunch of other ones too. They all dropped between like 2 and 7% in one day on Friday, which was one of the worst tech days in the past 2 years. And so everyone was kind of nervous over the weekend. Everyone was kind of thinking, what would happen on Monday? Do you think there was 3 options? What would happen to those tech stocks today, on Monday? It would either be rebounding, so the stocks that experienced on average a 3% dip, maybe they'd go up 1% today. That was a potential thing, rebound, right? A lot of people were thinking about that. I was thinking more of option number 2, which was a plateau. So a plateau meaning that the stock would drop 4% and it would just kind of stay relatively the same for a few days. And then maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, I don't know. But that's more, the plateau was viewed as a correction. So what happened on Friday, I thought it would just be a correction and everything would return back to normal on Monday. Then there was option number 3. The third option that no one really wanted to bring up, no one wanted to mention, no one wanted to talk about the terminology of these 2 words, bubble and crash. Bubble and crash. So the stock market opened, 9:30, right? 9:30. And I checked the stock ticker at roughly 10 a.m. Let me take you through what happened. So remember all those stocks that dropped 4% on Friday, all the tech ones? I checked all of them. Within the first 20 minutes, they all dropped 2% again. Another giant dip. Okay? Now, I wasn't too worried because when I invest in tech stocks, it's always for the long term. I rarely ever just throw money out there in hopes that it'll skyrocket in the next 2 weeks. I do long-term betting on the tech stocks that I do invest in. It's not a lot of them. It's not a lot of tech, but it's usually for the long term, right? And so I wasn't too worried, but everyone else was. I was looking on TV, all those people were saying, is this signs of the crash here? Is this signs of the bubble bursting? Bubble. People don't like mentioning those words. I went on to Reddit. So if you guys want to get a taste of what day traders and swing traders, what their mindset is like on any given day, go on to Reddit, the subreddit, r/I think it's Wall Street Bets. Okay? Now, I don't want you guys to be day traders or swing traders. That's not good. However, it's a good way to get a feel of what it's like. And so today at 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, the attitude of that subreddit went from, should I buy some more tech stock to, oh my God, I need to sell all the tech stock I have. I need to, make sure all my put options get exercised right now. Put option is, when you buy a stock, you have the option to sell it at a certain given price if the stock were to go down a lot. And it's a predetermined price, so it kind of cancels out a giant loss. That's what that is. So people were talking about exercising that option, just taking giant losses on these tech stocks, on these Apples, on these Amazons, on the Google stocks. That was happening today. It was like the freaking apocalypse for day traders today in the tech sector for at least a few hours. So all those stocks dropped. I mean, I'll take you through what happened here. Let's go through the stocks here. We're going to go through them. Facebook, first 20 minutes, 2% drop. Amazon, first 20 minutes, 1.96% drop. Apple, first 20 minutes, almost 2% drop. Netflix had a bad day today. Netflix went down 4% in the first 20 minutes and just kind of stayed there. So my sincere apologies to anyone who invested in Netflix on Friday. Google, first 20 minutes, 2%. You get the message here. We're talking about usually, think about this. If you can get a 6% to 10% return in the stock market in a year, that's a good return. Losing 2% in a day, think about that. I know 2% doesn't seem like much, but 2% in a day is a lot in the long run. And if you were to take that loss today, that's a bad decision. That was a bad decision by you today. So what ended up happening after the first 20 minutes, the vast majority of those stocks that dropped 2%, all the Googles, Amazons and stuff, they pretty much they rebounded a little bit. Back up to, only a loss of 0.5%, roughly for each one of the stocks. Except for Netflix. Netflix just took a, kicker right in the nuts today. Every other one of the tech stocks still had a loss, but it was like 0.5%, 0.3%, 0.1%. Now there's still actually about 45 minutes left in trading today, so you never know what could happen, but Apple's down 0.7%, Amazon's down 1.3% actually, still down. Oh shoot, Apple is down 3%. Okay, so a lot of the tech stocks are still having bad days today. That's what I'm trying to say here. And so again, there's three things that were supposed to happen: rebound, plateau, and crash. Today was more of a crash in the first 20 minutes, and everyone was thinking that this could be a whole tech bursting bubble like in 2000, but it ended up being more of a plateau today, but this might continue. You don't really know. It might continue. I'm going to get to that in a second here. So pretty much every tech sector stock had a bad day today, except one. And it's this goddamn stock that I made a whole video about today. I released it today. It's the one stock that, regardless of numbers or common investment strategies or economics, it just goes up. And I released a video on this today. Tesla. For goddamn fuck's sakes, this stock goes up. Pardon my language here. But, the stock just goes up and no one cares about their profits or earnings or revenue. It's just, well, their revenue's been going up, but their profits have been going down. They've been losing money. They haven't had profits. And so they're up 0.5% today, and all the other tech stocks are down. Just that, I love Tesla. I hope they succeed. It's infuriating because they're the one anomaly that I can't figure out, and that I had an option of buying 1 billion times, and I just never have. And I don't know if I'm going to, but maybe I should. No, don't do it now. Don't give into your strategy. No, not going to do it. I'm not buying them. I'm not giving in Tesla. You cannot trick me with your anti-economic wizardry. Okay? So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened today. Tech sector down, but then kind of rebounded, except Netflix. They all still had losses, but they weren't as bad as Friday. Except Tesla. Tesla just freaking went up for some reason. So here's some things I want to mention for you guys. So there's two things I want to talk about, I guess. One of which is, this is why you shouldn't panic if your stock goes down. Okay? So, and this is, it's one of the reasons why I say if you're a beginner, don't get into tech. Because what if you invested on Thursday or Wednesday last week, and you invested $5,000 in different tech stocks because you like Google, you like Amazon, you like whatever, Apple, and then you just lost 6% of your money. You lost 6% of your money. The value of your portfolio went down 6%, and you're freaking out, and you lost 6%, and you're considering selling it and taking a loss of, what 6% of $5,000 be? That would be, doing math there, $300, $350 if you include commissions and stuff like that. So that's why it's important to, if you're just starting out, don't go all out into tech, because this just happens all the time in the sector. All the time. I mean, by all the time, I mean every few years. But it's the most common, it's the most volatile sector. And it goes up and down all the time. So again, if you're a beginner, just watch out for this. However, here's the deal. Even though the tech sector has taken a shit kicker in the last 2 days, and they've dropped like 4 or 5% total on average, if you've invested in them since January, you've still had like a 40% return for the most part, or 30% or 20% return. So, but again, like if you're a rookie, what if you invested last week instead of January, right? So that's always why I recommend, like I invest in tech, but I'm not a beginner, all right? I know how to trade stocks. A lot of beginners don't. So that's gonna kind of be my wrap up of the tech sector today. It was just another kind of shit show today. So anyways, Tesla up, everything else down. All right, what else did I want to mention? Oh yeah, so here's the other thing too. So on Friday was a big dip down, I guess, in the tech sector. Today was more of like a little dip down. And then this got into my head today. What if this continues? What if it's not a big drop like we saw in in September, 2008, or was it August? I think it was or was it August, September, October, somewhere around there, where it all happened in seemingly like a week. But what if these stocks keep gradually going down over the course of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? And people would think that's bad, but I see this as opportunity if this were to continue. I was thinking about this today. At 9:30 today, when all the stocks were down, I was seriously considering maybe I should put a few $1,000 into the tech stocks today. Because that is when investors really make their money, is on those dips. So if the market continues to be really crappy over the next few weeks, few months, that is the time to go all in. I'll keep updating you guys on what I think you guys should do, but I think if you haven't made a trade yet and you want to, start learning. Start learning now, because if this were to continue, you're going to have a window of a few weeks here where you can get returns of 5, 10, 15% higher than you normally would if this were to continue. I don't know if it's going to. Probably won't, but it might. It's a realistic possibility. So again, get learning. Make sure you're prepared just in case that were to happen. I don't think it will, but it's a possibility. And if it is, I'm going to be investing a lot of my money if it keeps going down. Anyway, so just keep that in mind. I think that this is more of a correction to the mean because all the tech stocks were just really overvalued. Really high PE ratios. So I don't think it's going to keep going down too much more. I think it will a little bit, but not too much more, not for too much longer. So we're going to move on to the next topic here. I wanted to talk about, let's see, what was the next thing here? Let's talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, I have a few things here. Let's talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin. Everyone, I've gotten so many freaking tweets about this that I just can't respond to all of them. I've responded to like 5 or 10 of them in the past couple months, and I just can't. All right, there's only so much Bitcoin I can talk about. Bitcoin. How do I summarize what I think about it? Bitcoin. If I really wanted to take a really high risk investment, this would be my number one choice. But I still consider it a high risk investment. And I gave this tweet about 2 weeks ago. Okay, 2 weeks ago I freaking said this tweet. Maybe I should post this in this video. But someone asked me, Bitcoin has seen, whatever, 10,000% returns or 100,000% returns over the past 10 years. Or 1,000,000% returns or 10,000,000% returns over the past 10 years. So why don't we all just, invest $100 and we'll all become millionaires? It doesn't work like that. Most of the growth and most of the returns for Bitcoin have probably already happened. Well, it depends on if Bitcoin were to last for another 4 decades, it might, but it might not. You could see a lot of growth in those next 4 decades. What I'm trying to say here is that the growth in the first decade of Bitcoin, in the first 7 years, will probably equal as much growth as the next 50 years. Probably. Maybe not, but probably. So that's what it is with all stocks. And so they were pretty much just saying, yeah, why don't we all just invest $100? And well, now you can only invest about $3,000 in Bitcoin right now. So here's what happened to Bitcoin today. Their price of one Bitcoin dropped 16% today, but right now it's at 14%, and then it kind of went back down actually. So roughly, we'll just say 15%. It dropped 15% today. Do you want to know why? So it was indirectly involved in the tech sector meltdown. Like when everyone gets nervous about the tech sector, Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies get hit too. But here's what also happened. And it's what I mentioned in my tweet. I said, well, the trouble with Bitcoin is that yes, you can, if you think it's a guaranteed return, go for it. But it's not a guaranteed return. Your money's not even safe with Bitcoin. And that's what happened today. In fact, there's a virus that went out today for one of the big Bitcoin exchangers, and about 17% of the people couldn't exchange money today. That was pretty, it was pretty crazy. And because of that and the tech sector meltdown, it dropped 15% in one day. Again, I don't really know what to think of Bitcoin because it's like a fiat. It's like a new fiat currency in a way. Like its value is only worth what you believe the value of it's worth. And I think that it's a useful tool where I would like to have some sort of universal currency. I think that'd be cool. I mean, I'd like it to make things easier. But it also makes it easier for stuff like this to happen, like viral attacks to steal people's money, or to prevent people from exchanging money, or to not access people's money, your own money. So that's why I don't invest in Bitcoins, because stuff like that happens. So Bitcoin dropped about 15% today, and that was kind of the big news. There was a little bit of a virus that hit today. It was called, what was it called? Denial of service virus. So people just couldn't access it, couldn't deposit, couldn't exchange, things along those lines. So again, the price dropped down from $3,041 to about $2,532, and now it is, where is it sitting right now? It's sitting at roughly $2,569 as of this current second, with about 30 minutes left in trading. Although, here's the question. I think Bitcoin keeps trading, right? Because it's not part of any exchange, stock exchange. It keeps trading throughout 24 hours, right? So, yeah, this will probably change by the time this video comes out. Now, let's see what else I wanted to talk about here. By the way, if you still invest in Bitcoin, like, you still had great returns since January, just like the tech sector. You've had 150% returns in Bitcoin if you invested in January. So what am I to say? Like, what do I know, right? But that's just my opinion on Bitcoin. It's just not, I like somewhat safe investments. And Bitcoin, it's not safe, but it's not, I don't know. I would say it's fairly risky for my taste, but if you guys want to go for it, go for it. And maybe if they can figure out some of the bugs here, then I would start investing in it. But as of this current second, I am not. So we're going to move on to, just a random note today. GE went up a bunch. It was the only stock that was a big stock that actually had a really good gain today. I mean, most of the market, we'll go over the market right now. So most of the market is down today. I mean, tech's down, utilities down, materials are down, healthcare is down. Let's see what else is down. Financials are about the same. Everything's pretty much about the same except for telecommunications and energy. And so General Electric went up like 4% today, which was pretty nice because General Electric's been hit pretty hard, as I remember, over the past few months. So good for them. Good for them. What else did I want to touch on today? So I think that we'll go with Federal Reserve meeting. So again, I think that the Federal Reserve meeting, I just want to remind you guys of this, just in case you are investing pretty soon. The meeting is on, I think it's on Wednesday, and they're going to decide whether interest rates should go up. They have to. They have to go up, most likely they're probably only going to go up 0.25% or 25 points. They might go up, I think that they should go up higher than that. I think they should go up 0.5 points, but they're not going to do that. They're just going to go very slowly. They don't want to shock the market right now. So just be prepared for that, and the stocks might take a dip. That's usually what happens when the interest rates go up, is that markets usually take a little bit of a dip, especially in the financial industry. So yeah, just be prepared for that. If you're just starting out, I'd probably wait until Wednesday. If you're just a really big newbie in the stock market, just wait, because the Federal Reserve stuff, like, it doesn't really matter. It's 0.25, it's 25 points, guys, on interest. Like, I know I'm talking about stock market news. Here's the deal, is that I kind of do the opposite of like what everyone else is thinking. When everyone else is thinking to sell, that's what I'm thinking to buy, right? When the stock market's tanking, that's when I want to buy. When it's hot, that's when I want to sell, even though I don't really sell too much. I like to just buy and buy more. And so when all this news comes out about the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, like, it's not going to affect, it shouldn't affect the market too much. The reason why it affects the market is because people will think it affects the market. And that is something that I hope that you guys realize. It's like paper money in a way. You know how paper money, it's not attached to gold or anything. Paper money only has value because you believe it has value. And that's the same thing with when they raise interest rates. I mean, it only has an effect on the stock market because you think it has an effect on the stock market. Now, it'll have some effect on some banks and some financial institutions, but 0.25% is not going to do much. So just be prepared for a rate hike on Wednesday. I guess what that also means for you guys is that if you're taking out a mortgage or anything like that, anything to do with banks, your interest rate's probably going to go up, or some of your fees are going to go up. Sometimes that's your deposit fees or transfer fees or transaction fees. Usually it's just if you're taking out money, they're just going to raise the interest rate on you. So that's pretty much what that means. So if you're going to take out a loan, do it soon. What else is there that I want to mention before I go here? I think that, oh yeah, so again, if this trend were to continue, I just want to drill this into you guys. Just be prepared. If this downward trend were to continue in the tech sector, be prepared to buy, because that's when you're going to make tons and tons of money. That's when it's going to happen. And, oh yeah, I guess shameless plug here. Shameless plug is if you guys do want to learn more, you can check out my stock market program in the link below. It'll teach you from knowing nothing about the stock market to making your first trade. Plus, I'm throwing in a bunch of extra stuff. I'm talking about my own portfolio, what I invest in, how much money I invest in. I do stock breakdowns now. I'm uploading that fairly regularly now, a few times a week. So if you guys are interested in that, me doing specific stock breakdowns about what I want to invest in, go check that out. But as for now, I think that's going to wrap this video up. Also, I just want to mention, I'm probably going to make 1 or 2 more investments this week. If stocks do go down tomorrow, again, I'm buying something. That's just the way it is. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know if it's even going to be a tech stock. But if this downward trend continues for the next day or two, I'm probably going to buy something. And I'll do my whole, on the video on my stock market program, what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to go show you guys the process of what I do when I break down a stock. I did that through my own, like through the actual program itself, but through the updated content, I'll show you in action what I do, like in actual reality what I do. Versus me just showing you, I actually give you the action and the breakdown of actually, you know, picking from thousands of stocks, breaking down to like 5 and then picking 1. So I'm gonna hopefully do one of those this week. Maybe not though. Markets pick up, I'm probably not gonna buy anything. So I think that's gonna wrap this video up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys didn't buy tech on Thursday and then sell it on Monday. I think, what did I buy last week? I think I bought Google, right? I bought it for like just about $1,000 and now it's down like 50. Somewhere around there. What is it at? Somewhere around there. I bought a few more stocks, but you're gonna have to check out my stock market program for that. But I did buy Google, yeah, on Thursday. But again, like I'm not panicked whatsoever. It could go down another $400. I don't care. I remember a few years ago when Google was actually $500, and I was considering buying it. This was, let's take a peek here. This was 2015. I remember that, 2014, 2015. It was actually 2014, I think, because that was the year my Apple stock skyrocketed. I think it was 2014. And I chose Apple over Google, and it ended up being a good decision at the time. Yeah, but I remember Google and Tesla, they were trying to pull me. They're trying to pull me like, Jack, come invest in me. Come invest in me. Hey, Jack, I'm Elon. I have the anti-stock. Come here. I do the exact opposite of what most stocks do. We lose money and our value goes up. You make money. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, I've had enough of talking and boring you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out the stock market program and the wealth accelerator. The link below. I'm throwing in a bunch of stuff for free if you do get the stock market program. So go check it out. And you're all very beautiful people. I love all your faces, and I'll see you guys in the next video.